In today's show, Bitcoin price levels to watch out for as Terra buys 2.5 thousand Bitcoin to nearly match Tesla. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis. And as the Wolf of Wall Street, Scott Melker, points out here, Bitcoin levels for now are still $45,500, $42,000, and $39,600. And as Plan C shares, for the fourth time in Bitcoin's history, we have left the blue zone. The last three times this occurred, the Bitcoin bottom was already in, and a massive bullish uptrend followed. Probably a coincidence, and as Crypto Rover shares here, massive Bitcoin bounce imminent. We are once again seeing a beautiful retest on the weekly support. This could just be the catalyst for the next run-up for Bitcoin. And as Plan B shares here, different perspectives. 70% of all 19 million Bitcoin is in profit, and looking at 3x gain, 42,000/14,000 on average. 30% of all Bitcoin is in loss, and looking at a negative 20% dip, 42,000/$50,000. And as Rec Capital shares here, the number of unique addresses holding at least 10,000 BTC has formed a higher low. Higher lows in this metric have been indicative of impending bullish momentum. Whales are accumulating here. And this just in, breaking news, Singapore High Court has recognized Bitcoin as property, as well as more breaking news. Terra now holds 42,406 Bitcoin, worth $1.69 billion. And as Max Kaiser shares here, Bitcoin has collapsed in central banks and nation states exactly as it's designed to do. Also in today's show, Ethereum price bullish triangle puts 4-year highs versus Bitcoin within reach. I'll be breaking down for you this Ethereum triangle breakout. Also in today's show, we'll be discussing a massive wall of money waiting to enter Bitcoin and crypto markets, according to Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary. Quoting him here from a recent interview, it may not be perfect, but the reason you care as an investor, the reason you want Lummis to be successful, is that the institutional capital is like a giant dam, a wall of money that can't invest yet. So it's a spigot of capital in the trillions of dollars, and not a dime of it has been put into crypto yet. Can you imagine what will happen to asset values if they started to allocate? That's the investment there. Also in today's show, former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal unveils massive end of the decade prediction for the crypto markets. That's right, according to the Real Vision CEO, crypto markets could 100x from the current levels and reach a $200 trillion market cap, even if there are slow years along the way. Also in today's show, we'll be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. The goal is to get to 100,000 subs, along with a $100,000 Bitcoin price. If you like getting that crypto, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Today's episode is brought to you by FTX US, built by traders for traders. That's right, FTX US is the best way to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, as well as other digital assets. And did you know you can trade crypto with up to 85% lower fees than its top competitors? That's right, there are no fixed minimum fees, no ACH transaction fees, and no withdrawal fees. Also note that FTX is the only leading exchange that supports both Ethereum and Solana NFTs, and there are no gas fees. And you might have heard of them from their Super Bowl commercial with Larry David, or their partnership with Stephen Curry and Tom Brady. That's because the world's biggest names trust FTX. And they have a special promo they're running right now, where if you download the FTX app today and use my promo code Crypto News, you can earn free crypto on every trade over $10, truly making this a no-brainer. And the more you trade, the more you earn. So go ahead and download the FTX app today by clicking the link in the description right down below. Use my referral code Crypto News, and let's start stacking those sats, shall we? All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. How's it going, crypto fam? Holla at your boy in the live chat. The Bitcoin is keeping traders on the edge of their seats this week as support levels come close to break-in. Right here, looking at the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart. Now, data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView shows that the lines in the sand below 40,000 barely remain intact after multiple retests. That $40,000 mark has been working overtime in the recent days as Bitcoin's macro-fueled downtrend continues to play out. Falling in line with the tech stocks, Bitcoin has erased almost all of its gains from the second half of March. Now the $30,000 to $40,000 corridor has appeared as the short-term target once again, and may see Bitcoin stage a replay of its behavior from Q1 of this year. Support levels of interest include one from last month's push higher, 39,600, which bulls are just about managing to defend despite several crossing lower. As Scott Melker points out here, Bitcoin levels for now are still $45,500, $42,000, and $39,600. And below that, the whale buying underlying zone could act as a safety net, on-chain monitoring resource Wellmap noted on April 12th. Also, popular crypto trader CryptoEd, meanwhile, is eyeing 38,600 as a short-term bounce area, underscoring the mixed consensus over just how far Bitcoin could fall. And as previously reported, Arthur Hayes, the ex-CEO of derivatives platform BitMEX, expects the largest cryptocurrency to trade at $30,000 in June. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Arthur Hayes. I feel we're unlikely to touch that low, just saying. And on the longer time frames, we have analyst Kevin Svensson, meanwhile eyeing the 600-day simple moving average as the key support line, now being retested in what could be a significant event. Quoting him here, Bitcoin has not closed a daily candle below the 600-day simple moving average since the March 2020 crash. He noted the 600-day simple moving average has also been the main support for this range since mid-January. 39,250 is where the 600-day simple moving average is at the moment. And this just in breaking news, Terra now holds 42,406 Bitcoin worth $1.69 billion. That's right, data from its wallet confirms that the Luna Foundation Guard, the nonprofit organization attached to the blockchain protocol Terra, added an additional 2,500 BTC or 100 million worth to its reserves on April 13th. This means that Terra now owns 42,400 Bitcoin worth around $1.7 billion at the time of this recording, just 800 Bitcoin less than Tesla's corporate treasury allocation. The purchases have so far come at a price from nearly 200 million in profit on its stash to now nearly 100 million in the red, thanks to the latest Bitcoin price dip, BTFD. Its wallet is now the 18th largest on the Bitcoin network, and Terra co-founder Do Kwon confirmed its contents are set to grow in perpetuity as the firm seeks to back the expanded supply of its Terra UST stablecoin, making it the first stablecoin to be backed by pristine collateral, better known as the king of all crypto. And this just in breaking news, Singapore High Court has recognized Bitcoin as property as Bitcoin game theory worldwide is in full effect. And as Max Kaiser shares here, Bitcoin is collapsing central banks and nation states exactly as it's designed to do. In response to Marty Bent's tweet, this is how the endgame plays out. The weakest die first, and every weak currency that dies leaves behind a smaller pool of currencies that are doomed to the same fate. Turkey, Lebanon, Sri Lanka. Who's next? And before I break down next story of the day, Ethereum price bullish triangle puts 4-year highs versus Bitcoin within reach. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin, most major cryptos are currently correcting and in the red, with Bitcoin down 1.5% for the day, trading just above 39,800, with Ether maintaining just above $3,000, also down about 1.5%. We have Solana down a whopping 15%, trading just under $92, while the rest of the crypto market is currently correcting and in the red. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Ethereum's native token Ether has dropped about 17% against the US dollar in the last 2 weeks, but its performance against Bitcoin has been less painful, with the ETH/BTC pair down 4.5% over the same period. Now, the pair's down move appears as both ETH/USD and Bitcoin/USD drop nearly in lockstep while reacting to the Federal Reserve's potential to hike rates by 50 basis points and slash its balance sheet by $95 billion per month. The latest numbers released on April 12th show that consumer prices rose 8.5% in March, the most since 1981. Now, several technicals remain bullish despite ETH/BTC dropping in the last 2 weeks. Based on a classic continuation pattern, the pair still looks poised to resume a strong bull run in 2022. Notably, ETH/BTC has corrected from a horizontal resistance level that constitutes an ascending triangle range in conjunction with rising trendline support. As a rule, ascending triangles send the price in the direction of the previous trends. Therefore, since ETH/BTC was rallying before forming one, there's a decent chance its bull run could continue towards its February 2018 highs of near 0.1 BTC based on the setup shown right here in this chart. Now, nonetheless, the interim market setup looks skewed to the downside, with ETH/BTC eyeing a correction towards the triangle's lower trend line following its pullback from the upper trend line. I want to give a quick shout out to CryptoMon, the living NFT play and earn game taking the internet by storm. Check it out for yourself. Pretty sweet, eh? And as you can see, they have a growing community of over 400,000 members. So go ahead and click the link in the description right down below and check it out for yourself today. Now for the bearish reversal scenario, ascending triangle breakouts reach their upside targets nearly 73% of the time. In a separate report, veteran investor Tom Bolowski also highlights a 70% success rate for ascending triangles, thus underscoring the strong possibility for Ethereum to reach 0.10 BTC in 2022. Nonetheless, this still leaves ETH/BTC with a 30% chance to invalidate its ascending triangle setup. So there you have it. And as this happens, the pair will break below its triangle lower trend line, which also coincides with its 50-week exponential moving average, which is the red wave in this chart right here on your screen, near 0.06 BTC, opening the door for a further drop to 0.05 BTC, the support area from May to June of 2021. So let me know if you feel that Ether will likely continue to outpace the King crypto as we resume this bull trend. Let me know in the comments right down below. And before I break down next story of the day, a massive wall of money is awaiting to enter the Bitcoin and crypto markets, according to Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just under $1.9 trillion with over $94 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, and the current Bitcoin dominance is 40.8%, with the Ether dominance at 19.7%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past 24 hours, we have Shiba leading the pack, up almost 8%, but still virtually trading at nothing, followed by Chiliz up 6%, trading at 24 cents, followed by ApeCoin up 4%, trading at $12.14. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers for the week, you can just see a mass sea of red with only a handful actually in the green, which include Safe up 65%, Ton up 13.7%, and XTN up 17.4%. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators, it's the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 25 out of 100. In extreme fear, yesterday was a 20, last week a 48, and last month a 23 in extreme fear. And if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity like we're witnessing right now. BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary says regulatory clarity will allow institutional capital to flow into crypto markets. That's right. In a new interview with Kitco News, O'Leary discusses U.S. Senator Cynthia Lummis and Senator Gillibrand's latest proposal for a crypto regulatory framework. Quoting him here, "I'm coming to the conclusion, particularly after the feedback from the institutions here at the Bitcoin 2022 conference, that we will take any regulations, give us anything. I mean, we're going to make the assumption because it's bipartisan and they've taken so much input from the industry that we'll get something that's workable. It may not be perfect, but the reason you care as an investor, the reason you would want Cynthia Lummis to be successful is that the institutional capital is like a giant dam, a wall of money that can't invest yet. So it's a spigot of capital in the trillions of dollars, and not a dime of it has been put into crypto yet. Can you imagine what would happen to asset values if they started to allocate? That's the investment there. Now, while there has been talk of institutional interest in the crypto markets, O'Leary says that relatively speaking, there has been practically zero. He says regulators need to give the big investors the green light before their capital starts flowing in. As he shares here, we're not even in the game yet. When you talk to sovereign wealth and large pension, nothing. Primarily is private wealth. Family wealth, it's hedge funds, it's a certain number of institutions that used to buy the publicly traded shares of Bitcoin miners, but now they're worried about the carbon audit issue. I don't see it yet. What we really need is the SEC and US regulators, and then the allocations will start primarily in Bitcoin. And when asked what needs to happen for institutions to get the regulatory clarity they want to invest, O'Leary shared the following. The easiest way to do it would be what the Canadians did and simply allow the first American traded Bitcoin ETF. It would be purchased as a security into mandates that are already set up to purchase securities like shares, because they don't have to buy Bitcoin. They don't have to set up a separate wallet. They can simply say, okay, here is a true ETF with the underlying actual Bitcoin. We can simply allocate 50 basis points to a $100 billion mandate. We can buy the ETF. That would be the easiest path to take. My guess is they're not going to allow it. There are multiple applications for an ETF, none of which have been granted. It doesn't matter which one actually gets licensed because there'll be 10 more that come immediately, but we're going to need an order from the regulator to allow institutions to be compliant when they buy Bitcoin itself. And he makes a great point. I cannot wait for a Bitcoin ETF to finally be approved, a spot Bitcoin ETF in the US, not a futures one, which is used for manipulation, because once that happens, expect the crypto and Bitcoin markets to soar 100x. Just saying. And speaking of 100x, before I break down our final story of the day, former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal unveils massive end of the decade prediction for the crypto markets. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,100 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my crypto merch store live at merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. You can also find me on all the major podcasting platforms from Spotify to Apple's iTunes. And if you're listening to the pod, be sure to check out the YouTube channel at cryptonewsalerts.net for the full premium experience with video. And of course, you can follow me on crypto Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and TikTok. So wherever you're at, be sure to plug in and follow me there. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day. Macro guru Raoul Pal is calling crypto the fastest growing asset class in human history and predicts gargantuan growth for the markets by 2030. Send it. In a new interview with Scott Melker, the Wolf of Wall Street, Powell says that many of the altcoin projects attracting hype and excitement will die off as they fail to garner adoption, which he says is normal. Quoting the macro guru here, what we're seeing is the market figuring out that it's no longer good enough to just be faster, cheaper alternative to Ethereum or whatever it may be, more private than Bitcoin. What people are starting to see, and I've been definitely having conversations with people at the protocol layer talking about, okay, what can we be known for on this chain? People are going to split down to use cases, I think. So if you're really fast and you're not super decentralized and you're very cheap, then you're very useful for the securities industry because they have massive volume and they don't care about decentralization at the level of which private money does. There's still a lot of space for this broad number of tokens. Obviously, a bunch of this stuff is never going to gain network adoption, and that's fine. It's just the same as VC portfolio when you understand that a bunch of these firms won't get the traction, and that's okay. While many projects fail in the short term, Powell foresees an unparalleled adoption curve for the crypto markets over the next 7 years. Check it. According to Raoul Pal, crypto markets could 100x from the current levels and reach a $200 trillion market cap. That's right, even if there are slow years along the way. As he shares here, we're at 300 million active users worldwide in digital assets. Essentially, it's growing at 185% per year. We get to 600 million plus, call it 750 million by the end of this year. Even if we have a slow year, we get to 500 million. The year after that, it's $1 billion. The year after that, it's $2 billion. Year after that, $4 billion. The speed at which this is coming, people do not comprehend. And the movement, I think, from the $2 trillion asset class today to the $200 trillion asset class talking about is by the end of the decade is the fastest growth of any asset class in all history, the fastest adoption of technology in all history, and it's going to be the fastest generation of wealth in all history. That's what's going on. We all get lost in the day-to-day ups and downs in the market and, shouting at each other over, Cardano versus whatever, and it's just all noise. It's just noise because you've got the biggest, fastest secular trend any of us will ever live through, and we can participate. We don't have to be VCs. We don't have to be a rich dude who's got the access. You just need to get involved. Sage advice, what are your thoughts surrounding his $200 trillion market cap for the crypto industry? And where do you feel the Bitcoin price will likely be by that time? Let me know in the comments right down below. And now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. We discussed the Bitcoin price levels to watch out for as Terra buys 2.5 thousand Bitcoin to nearly match Tesla. We also discussed Ethereum's price bullish triangle, puts 4-year highs versus Bitcoin within reach, as well as a massive wall of money waiting to enter the Bitcoin and crypto markets, according to Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary, as well as former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal, unveils massive end of the decade prediction for crypto markets of 100x. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode, Luigi Mario wrote, JV, I was at the Bitcoin conference in Miami. Sorry I didn't have the chance to meet you, but maybe next conference we can meet up. I learned so much from the presenters at the conference. I also made a lot of connections with the exhibitors that were at the event. I learned so much in 2 days. Fiat is in deep trouble. Credit cards are doomed and banks are struggling to survive. Need to hodl Bitcoin to preserve wealth. Keep up the good work. Peace. Super glad you were able to attend, fam. It was a pretty epic conference to say the least. Next event, we'll definitely have to link up. Hodl. And our next featured comment comes from Pokemon, who wrote, Hi JV and Crypto News Alerts fam, enjoyed your show, managed to catch you live, which is always good chatting with the Crypto News Alerts fam. Buffett and Diamond all have Bitcoin, and they don't want retail to have it because it's a game changer. We've watched them manipulate the market in the past, so don't listen to any of them. The future is looking bright for Bitcoin. Just buy the dips and hodl, simple strategy, but it has paid me very well. Take care. God bless. Sage advice. Let's get this crypto. And our third and final featured comment comes from Inner Dino. I was there in spirit. Thanks, JV. Love the show and all that's going on. We'll see you soon. As always, fam, I appreciate ya. Hodl. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below